This video is sponsored by Squarespace. What's going on, guys? Vincent here from thecreativedojo.net. Hope you're all doing well out there, and welcome to another After Effects quick tip video. Today's video, I want to share with you guys 5 tips within After Effects I think you guys will find useful when working within the application. In no particular order, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and spoiler alert, at the end of the video, we're actually doing a giveaway where we'll be giving away 5 copies of a very powerful tool for After Effects, so stay tuned to the end of the video. So for our first tip here, this actually involves shape layer anchor points. Now by default, whenever you work in After Effects, you'll notice that whenever you create a new shape layer, it actually tries to create an anchor point to the center of the composition. Now, this makes sense for a few cases, but in my particular case, I usually want my anchor point to be in the center of my actual shape, because a lot of times I want to actually rotate along the axis of my actual shape layer here. So a quick way to solve this is to actually go into your After Effects preferences, go to General, and there's actually a default option for this behavior. It's called Center Anchor Point in New Shape Layers. Go ahead and check that. This is actually off by default. Go ahead and hit OK. And so now whenever you create a new shape layer, it will actually snap the anchor point to the center of your shape layer. So now you can do all your transformation properties, all these effects and everything like that, and it'll kind of behave kind of like how you would envision it to. Of course, this isn't ideal for all scenarios, but I think it's an option that you guys should be aware of, so you don't have to go in here and manually move your anchor point to the center of your composition or use any tools right here. This is kind of a quick default native solution for this issue. Check it out. Our second tip involves actually fine-tuning the scale properties. For example, I have this square right here, and let's say the client for some reason wanted this square to be exactly 300 pixels by 100 pixels, for example. That's not very easy to do with the scale attribute right here based on 100%, but we can actually right click on this scale and go to edit value, and we can change everything from scale to pixels, and we can actually go ahead and define 300 by 100 and go ahead and hit OK. And it will actually specify the actual pixel amount within the scale. Now this is kind of easy to do with the solid because you can just go into the layer solid settings and just edit it this way here. But if we have something more complicated like a piece of footage right here, and let's say that the client wanted this to be a specific size to fit or whatever it is, you go to the scale property once again, right click, go to edit value, and we can actually manually define this here. And so let's say we want it to be 900 pixels wide, go ahead and hit OK. And that should help you fine tune the actual size of things using the scale attribute. Just another way to do something. The next quick tip actually involves a few shortcut keys I think you guys will find kind of useful. The first one here is actually Alt Control up and down, or on the Mac is actually Option Command up and down. And when you have layers selected, it actually allows you to pretty much shift layers up and down the timeline. And this can be useful if you have stuff like mats or other pairs of footage that you want to kind of keep together. It allows you to easily kind of shift things down. And this can be kind of handy if you have a lot of layers in your timeline, kind of cluttering things around, where clicking and kind of dragging all the way down may take a little bit longer depending on what you're trying to do. So Option Command up and down, really quick, very snappy, and Alt Control up and down on Windows. Another shortcut involves centering stuff within the composition. So if I have this text layer right here and I want to center it to the composition, normally I would go to the Align panel right here, and this actually requires 2 clicks, one to center it horizontally and one to center it vertically. And that takes 2 clicks. Now, there's a keyboard shortcut, and that's actually Command or Control Home on the keyboard here. And just like that, you've centered everything with one keyboard shortcut. It's a little bit faster than going to the Align panel, and this is something to keep in mind. So in After Effects, we don't really have a native crop function. Nothing like Photoshop where you can actually kind of crop to actual transparent pixels as of this moment. There are tools and scripts out there that kind of allow you to do it quickly, but natively there isn't really a crop function, but there is something very close, and that's using the region of interest area right here. So go ahead and click on this button. You can actually define the actual region that you're kind of interested in. So if I want to crop the assets right here just to this area, I can go ahead and kind of define this area right here, just kind of keep things nice and tidy. If I want to crop to this area right here, I can go to Composition and go to Crop Comp to Region of Interest. And that will actually crop the composition to just this area right here, so you can focus on your assets or whatever you need to do. It's a quick way to kind of crop things in. Very handy feature. So our last quick tip actually involves labels. And so you guys should be using labels quite often to kind of organize your layers, keep things, visually organized, and kind of helps people out whenever you go ahead and pass projects on to different people. so things just kind of stay organized. And by default, these label colors are kind of actually pretty bad and pretty boring. So a lot of guys don't know that you can actually go into your preferences and go to general, and actually we can go down to the label section right here. And you can actually go in here and rename your label colors and actually define label colors yourself. So you can go online on the internet, find some color schemes, some color palettes, and go ahead and pretty much create your own custom type label colors. Hit OK. And from then on, you can actually define your colors that way, and you can create some pretty interesting, nice color scheme palettes for labels. Don't use the default colors because these default colors kind of suck and they don't really stand out in terms of kind of grouping layers together. Now, a tool that I've been using recently is actually a tool by my friend over at RenderTalk on AE Scripts. And basically he created this really neat tool right here called Labels. Now, he has two versions, one for After Effects, one for Premiere. Basically, this is a tool for After Effects labels or Premiere labels, and it gives you a lot more functionality. For example, you can go ahead and go into the settings here. You can actually go ahead and download themes. For example, I have one right here. These are all free themes which you can download. By the way, this is actually a paid tool. This is not a free tool, so you will need to purchase this, but I think it's worth every single dollar, and it's very powerful. It helps you kind of stay organized and kind of encourages you to stay organized. But anyways, you can go ahead and define a particular label theme, hit OK. It will actually change all your label colors to something more pleasing to the eye, something more poppy to kind of stand out. And you can actually go ahead and select layers right here and pretty much set their label colors. You can make all these layers, like a yellow color or whatever, and then you can go ahead and actually filter some of this out. So for example, if I hit the F button right here, this will actually show me all the label colors used in this particular composition. It can actually kind of filter things out. So for example, I can go ahead and hit Alt and click, pretty much select all the layers except for the ones that I clicked, or you can hold down the Shift key and press an actual label color, and it will actually select all the layers that are actually within that color label. So if I want to select all the yellow ones, I can go ahead and select this one right here. This also works for project items, and there's a lot of other features that you can actually do. If you go into the settings here, there's actually a few settings that you can actually use. For example, you can go ahead and actually fix the size of the swatch right here. So you can define like a 20 by 20 pixels, and it'll actually keep it the same size. It won't scale and be responsive. I don't know why you would do that unless you had a lot of colors, but it's pretty useful. Now the cool thing is that labels actually have kind of like a custom toolbar, like AFD toolbar type function, which allows you to not only pretty much create label buttons, but actually create custom script buttons as well. So you can actually go into the settings, open the custom shortcut editor. You can actually define a new script name, a key binding for the shortcut, and actually define an actual scriptlet. So if you write some extend script or JavaScript and you want to quickly be able to run certain scripts or whatever, you can actually define it right here and save the shortcut to the toolbar, and you have access to that script or scriptlet really fast. And he has a list of other themes as well as scriptlets for you to download and check out. You can actually go ahead and hold down E and click on a swatch, and that will bring up the editor right here. You can change the color, name it whatever you want, save the swatch, export and import swatches that you created for your friends, your team, whatever. And so this is a pretty cool little tool that kind of makes things a little bit more interesting and kind of encourages you to be more organized with your labels here. But I do want to let you guys know that we are giving away 5 copies of Labels 3 to 5 lucky winners. It's going to be completely random. All you have to do is subscribe to our channel, make sure you hit that bell icon, like this video, and go ahead and leave a comment down below telling me what you guys like best out of the 5 tips I shared with you guys today. And I'll pick 5 random winners in 2 weeks, and 5 of you guys will get a free copy, the full version of Labels 3. Again, I think it's worth every single penny. But if you guys want a chance to win, leave a comment down below, give this video a like, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Many thanks to RenderTalk for supporting this video and supporting you guys as well. Before I go, I want to give a quick thanks to our sponsors over at Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is the only platform to create an amazing website, whether it's for your store, online business, or portfolio. They have amazing themes to choose from, fully customizable so you can make the way you want it to look like without having any coding knowledge required. They have awesome 24-hour support, and best of all, if you use the promo code DOJO at checkout, you can actually save 10% off your order and support the dojo. So check it out over at squarespace.com/dojo. Squarespace, the number one place to create an amazing website. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those are some 5 tips that I think you guys will find useful in After Effects. If you guys like videos like this and you want more tips, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe for more videos like this. My name is Vincent Wynn from the Creative Dojo, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.